I had a journalism professor in college who used to say, in regards to fact checking, if your mother says she loves you, check it out, meaning take nothing at face value, fact check everything. And that's something that stuck with me during my brief career as a reporter and in my current career as a online history enthusiast or whatever you call this. So, as someone who spends perhaps too much of her time researching to make sure what I'm telling you is accurate, the enshittification of Google search results is both annoying and alarming. And I'll give you a crazy example of this just from the past couple of hours. Keep in mind that in this story, my particular annoyance is with Google's AI overview, not Gemini, Google's actual AI service, where you type in a prompt and da 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 da, millions of gallons of water go poof just to generate an impressionist painting of a unicorn riding a unicycle. I'm talking about the unavoidable AI overview that shows up at the top of regular search results. So I'm in the midst of researching what New York City mayors have done after leaving office, which is a fascinating topic, and I'm prepping a doozy of a post for you on this. So I get to Fiorello LaGuardia's post-mayoral life, and one of my sources, his New York Times obituary from 1947, says that he had two radio shows as an ex-mayor, one where he spoke about local events, and another where he discussed national events. And this national program was sponsored by Liberty magazine. The New York Times goes on to say that the program came to an abrupt end after a few months when Liberty released him from his contract for more than $100,000 a year because of alleged reckless and irresponsible statements. So I'm like, ooh, T, tell me more. So I start Googling and I type Fiorello LaGuardia National Radio Show. To be fair, that was a little broad. And the AI overview is spouting out information about the radio show he had while he was mayor. And the search results are of the same vein. So, not what I'm looking for. So I try again. I type Fiorello LaGuardia National Radio Show 1946 pulled off the air. I'm hoping to find some sort of news article. And the AI overview says, Fiorello LaGuardia's Talk to the People radio show was not pulled off the air in 1946. Its final broadcast was on December 29, 1945, a few days before his term as mayor ended on January 4th, 1946. His transition out of public office at the end of his mayoralty is why the show concluded, not because it was canceled in 1946. No one's talking about Talk to the People. That's a previous radio show he had while he was in office. I'm trying to find information about his show after he was in office. That's why I typed 1946. And it had to be in 1946 because the New York Times said the show only lasted a few months. And LaGuardia was dead in 1947, so I'm not working with a long timeline. But maybe I'm still being too broad. So then I type Fiorello LaGuardia, Liberty Magazine, radio show. And it says, but after some digging through the search results, I find a January 1946 article from Time magazine that says, New York's cocky little ex-mayor crowed a sharp warning to his advertising sponsor, Liberty magazine, basically saying, if you disavow my statements, I disavow your product. Petty and unreasonable. But this shows two things. One, that the Fiorello LaGuardia Liberty magazine beef was real. And two, that it happened in 1946. So I'm not crazy. So now emboldened, I Google 1946 Liberty Magazine Weekly Radio Series. And the AI overview says, are you dumb? Liberty Magazine never had a radio show. Ever. I'm paraphrasing, of course. But this is why you never take what the AI overview says at face value. Because 4 search results down is a 1946 New York Times article titled LaGuardia Loses a Radio Sponsor. Magazine calls his talk reckless. LaGuardia's statement issued says advertisers were blamed. Bingo. If I had taken the AI overview at face value, I would have never found this. But the story doesn't end here. This is where it starts to get wacky. So I was going to take screenshots for this video to corroborate my story to show you what I'm talking about. But the AI overview result that said that Liberty Magazine never had a radio show in 1946 is now gone. I watched that page refresh before my very eyes, going from denying the radio show's existence to now going on about the show and the magazine beef with LaGuardia. I can't emphasize this enough. This is fucking bonkers. It wasn't as though I was asking it about an ongoing situation. This is something from 1946, already done and dusted, that an hour ago, the AI overview swore never existed, but all of a sudden, now it does. And we can talk about all the Google fool that I had to do to find reputable sources. But my main takeaway for you is that I know that it's hard to ignore the AI overview because it's at the tippy top of the search results. But don't ever trust it. I don't care if it's telling you that the sky is blue. Fact check it with another source.